and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition of the KFC, the KungFu Cup 2025 number 9 StarCraft Evolution Edition. I'm, of course, your VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, the people in chat by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to something a little bit different. I mean, hey, we were live yesterday with some StarCraft Evolution, and now we're here once again with some more StarCraft Evolution content as well. For those that are maybe tuning in for the first time, or as a bit of a refresher, of course, this event is hosted on a mod. This is not your typical StarCraft 2 tournament. This is a StarCraft Evolution tournament instead, which does blend together Brood War and StarCraft 2. It does pit them against each other in a 1v1 format. Let's go. Now, as a reminder as well, when it comes to this tournament, this event is a little bit old. When I say that, I mean like a month old at this point. I did mention this previously, but because we were just so busy with EWC, with DreamHack, with GSL, with soon-to-be Home Story Cup and StarCraft, there were just so many tournaments, especially this and last month, that we just didn't have the time to catch up on some of these other tournaments. That's why yesterday we were live with the StarCraft Evolution League, and we were catching up with some previously wrapped up tournaments. Same can be said here with KungFu Cup. KungFu Cup, same thing, where this event did take place quite some time ago, and we are catching up. And we're going to be catching up on KungFu Cup number 9, 10, and 11. 3 weeks worth of KungFu Cup action over the next week or so. So we're in full catch-up mode. Now that EWC qualifiers are done, now that we've caught up with GSL, now that StarCraft is currently ongoing and there's the GSL break, this is the time to catch up on everything, catch up on show matches, StarCraft Evolution League, KungFu Cup as well, and other tournaments that we have had to 2v2. Right, Thermal's 2v2 circuit, other events that we've had to put on hold and kind of put on the back burner in prioritization of other tournaments. Now we can catch up. Now we can just catch up, and now we have non-stop replay costs like the next month, or sorry, I should say next week to catch up on everything. So let's go. We're here to catch up on that content and to jump into our fresh tournament here. Let's go. Because this event is, I mean, again, we're 3 months behind when it comes to KungFu Cup. I'm still catching up on KungFu Cup. This event is going to feature Dark. Dark was also in this tournament. Dark, of course, he was competing and playing in StarCraft Evolution events before his retirement, before he went to the military. So just as a heads up, you'll be seeing some Dark games. The reason for this is, again, this was taking place, or these matches did take place before he did go to the military service. Just as a heads up as we jump in, as we are going to be jumping on into our first series of the broadcast. First, we have ByuN versus F91. Shout out to F91, of course. He's a caster. He is one of the pillars of the StarCraft of SC Boy, of the Chinese community, the Chinese scene. Is one of the big content creators, big casters, F91, alongside Xiaose as well. So they do, and they're also running and hosting this tournament, hosting the KungFu Cup. So it's great to see them taking part once again. They're always willing to just jump in. Again, they're old school Brood War and Warcraft 3 players, so there's a lot of history with them and this respective game mode. So they're willing to take part. They didn't play in the StarCraft 2 versions of KungFu Cup, like they not at all. But here for Brood War and for Warcraft 3, they're willing to jump in and willing to kind of like go on that big nostalgia trip. The nostalgia is real, man. Let's go. And up first, we have F91 against ByuN, so a pro player against a commentator here, and we'll see how F91 can perform. Again, when it comes to ByuN, for those who maybe haven't watched a lot of StarCraft Evolution content, there are some key players from StarCraft 2 that also compete in StarCraft Evolution, like some big names, specifically ByuN, Classic, Shin, and Hero, and Dark. Before Dark had retired. Those are the five like big names that do come to mind when we do talk about competing in StarCraft Evolution. What I will say, currently, after these events, and especially with EWC coming up and continuing in GSL as well, I will say that participation from these top Koreans has died down a little bit because they've been focusing on GSL, on EWC, on StarCraft 2. So they have kind of stepped a bit away from this, and I would expect to see them return during the off season. During the off-season of EWC is typically when I expect them to start to ramp up their participation in StarCraft Evolution tournaments. That's typically how things go. And this isn't just the Koreans as well. We have some Europeans. Spirit comes to mind. Spirit, Skillus as well, Wayne, Young Yakov. There are some big Europeans that also do compete in these tournaments and do compete in StarCraft Evolution. Geralt comes to mind. They've also been quite successful in their performances. But here we go. We are going to be jumping into our first game here of the series. We're going to be jumping into Fighting Spirit. Okay. The RNG, papi. Let's go. We're jumping into Fighting Spirit, a very old brutal map from way back in the day. That's also what I love about KungFu Cup, is that they do have a separate map pool compared to StarCraft Evolution League. They both have separate map pools. They both feature separate maps. Some of them are more balanced than others. Some of them are more imbalanced than others. Like, alright, God, we'll get into it. Feels Fighting Spirit, man. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Fighting Spirit, we have the red Zerg player. We have the Chinese Zerg representing SC Boy. It is F91. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Teal Terran representing Shava Aurelian. It is ByuN. Here we go. Welcome on all to Fighting Spirit here. There are some more extreme maps, definitely, that we'll be getting into, but Fighting Spirit is an interesting one as well. Again, a very, very, very old school brutal map from many, many, many years ago, but now ported over into StarCraft 2. Now, some of the most biggest things here is the third base location. Like, your 2-base setup here is relatively secure. The main base is a little bit bigger, and likewise, there's no point of elevation here to protect the natural either, but relatively secure. It's also a 4-player spawn map. We have close spawns. We have close spawns. We have horizontal spawns here between F91 and ByuN, so aggression is going to be favored. It takes less time now to rush across the map and to rally into your opponent's bases, but my emphasis here is the third base. The third base on Fighting Spirit is very isolated, is what I will say. CC first out of ByuN. Of course, sorry, SC2 Terran. StarCraft 2 Terran against Brutal Zerg. I should emphasize that as well, as we have Hatch Gas Pool out of F91 and CC first out of ByuN. But the third base is so out of the way, so isolated. On top of that, I will say that there's this massive avenue here that you can, I would say, take advantage of as well. On the one hand, it's relatively secure because there's no way to really harass this attack path, so you can safely get to your third base, but at the same time, you can also abuse this position and outposition your opponent as well by striking the northern base or hitting in between the bases as well. We have seen players struggle to rotate between them and struggle to defend. Until then, though, 3-backs. Oh, of course. Now, we spoke about this previously, but 3-backs have been very trendy in the Brood War, or in the StarCraft Evolution meta. We'll see how hard we commit here from the side of ByuN, but this should be hitting with Stim. We should be working towards a Tech Lab, add-ons into a Stim timing, so we'll see how hard ByuN does hit. Overlord does confirm the position here of ByuN. It's also possible here that ByuN is not fully aware of the Overlord, as it is on the high ground, of course. Macro hatchery on the way. At least F91 is aware of ByuN. Here we go. Now setting up. Gases are being taken. And we are working towards Stim. There's a Tech Lab. Again, Tech Lab is on the way. Going to be rushing into that earlier Stim timing. As we said, Lindsay, a big shout out to Air Orange in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 33 months. Almost 3 years of support. That is crazy, man. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We do appreciate the support. As always, Air Orange, as always. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. And thank you so much for the many years of support. Thank you. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Oh, so we do have F91 going for earlier gases, does invest into Ling speed and is going into Ling Hydra. As a reminder, Hydra Tech is hatch based, not lair based, so a faster hydrogen here to get into Ling Hydra as a composition. And we'll see if he's able to piece together what's going on. He does see the bunker, he does see the Massive Marines, he does see no Hellions, so he knows that this is at least a 2-on-1. We know that it's a 3-1-1, but he knows that it's bio heavy, at least with the Overlord. Could be 3cc 2-on-1, could be regular 2-on-1, could be 3-racks, could be 4-racks. There's definitely different possibilities. And we'll see how he does try to hold on. Lings, they check for the third. They do check the third location. Yo, speaking of support in the chat, thank you so much to Bomb Cooler as well. Thank you so much for 9 months of support. Thank you, Papi. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it, as always. Subscribing for a tier 1 sub. Do appreciate it. All the months of support as well. Thank you. Thank you, Cool. Do appreciate it. As we're massing Hydras, by the way. Ooh, we are massing up a lot of Hydras here. So Hydra production well underway. F91, he's choosing not to drone, by the way. He's not droning, he's not saturating his own natural. This does scream 2-base all in. 2-base all in, we're rushing into Hydra speed. There is no lair either, so we're not going into lair tech, we're not going into lurker. It is just pure Hydra with Link support, as we did finish Link speed. So Link speed is going to be a factor. Behind this 3-1-1 setup here out of ByuN. Again, he's got his Mass Marine to work with. And here we go. We're soon going to pull the trigger. Link production has begun. And again, that should be to reinforce. And ByuN has seen nothing, by the way. ByuN, he doesn't even know where his opponent is. Like, no SCV scout, no Reaper scout, no Hellion scout, no scouting at all by ByuN. He's just playing blind. And here comes the all-in. Now, to defend against this, there's no tanks. Again, factory production is non-existent. The factory is just used to make add-ons. So ByuN right now, he's very, very vulnerable in a sense. I say vulnerable, does have a bunker, does have plenty of Marines. Can ByuN pull off a defense with Stim? Can he pull off that defense? So far, the Hydra's still building up. More Lings are on the way. Yo, if we can bait the army out into the open. Speaking of ByuN, he's moving out. F91 looking to move in. Let's go. Again, he's trying to set up that trap. He's got a terrifying army, by the way. It's huge. Medevac's not quite with the army. He can't commit. He does go for it. Yeah, there's that first Stim. Does kite away. It does kite away. F91, he's on the chase. Taking down a lot of Marines already. Yeah, so far, so good. But he does get back to the tank, and there's a tank behind this. Bunker does go down, medevac as well, but the tank is siege. Boys are being pulled, and we have to try to fight outside the range of the tank, but there are too many Marines. Yeah, too many Marines. Mass Hydra like this, they don't do well tanking. They're so fragile. They're all going to go down, and with that ByuN, he will take the fight. Shout out to the MVP tank, of course, and ideally, we did want to surround. Ideally, we did want to surround the army out in the open, but we failed to do so. And again, pushing into that siege position, pushing into the natural was not it. That was not it. That was not the play. Bled out far too much, I'm afraid. So look how many? 23 Hydras. 23 Hydras went down. Oof. And that was it, right? That was the all-in then and there. The all-in failed, and now there's almost nothing left. There's almost nothing left at this point. Yeah, Lings, they evaporate. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. ByuN will take a lead. Again, F91, I do think that he had a really good opportunity. Like, I do think that ideally he wanted to fight head-on, and ideally wanted to try to catch the army out in the center of the map. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get the surround. Unfortunately, ByuN was able to stim back home. Stim back home to the safety of his bunker, safety of his tank, and you can see how brutal it was watching all those Hydras trying to break that siege position, even if it was only one tank. Wait, one tank is good enough. It's like, the strength of that army is trying to swarm and overwhelm the Terran force out on the map, out in the open, and wasn't quite able to pull that off. It was all or nothing. It was kind of a one and done deal there for F91. With that, ByuN will claim the game, and now we're getting into game number 2. We'll see if F91 can bring it back, yo, as we load into Lost Temple. Oh boy, there's a lot to get into. a lot to talk about here, as we are going to be jumping in. And now, of course, the roles are going to be reversed. Now it's going to be F91 as SC2 Zerg, and of course, ByuN as the Brood War Terran. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, F91. In the top side of Lost Temple, we have the Chinese Zerg player. We have the red Zerg, the SC2 Zerg, going pool first, 12 pool even. It is F91. And spawning right next to him, by the way. they are right next to each other here. Again, we've spoken about this before, but the main bases are within the same screen as each other. We have his opponent. We have the teal Terran player. We have, representing Sharpfire Rebellion, the South Green Terran. It is ByuN. Here we go. Now, when it comes to this kind of setup here, and when it comes to this dynamic, we have seen ByuN kill players with just his first Reaper when he plays SC2 Terran. This map, I would say, is not very balanced. The big issue is this. When you have close spawns, and as you can see, you can spawn right next to it's a 4-player spawn map, but you can spawn right next to each other. The Reaper cliff and the rush distance by ground is incredibly short, so rushing like this makes sense. Like, I do favor what F91 is doing, going pool first, so 12 pool into gases, into a fast roach horn, into a roach hole in. Meanwhile, ByuN does open racks expand. We do see F91 is searching for his opponent. He's checking here the first location, then of course the second location, but really he's right next door. Oh boy. And we'll see if ByuN can survive this. Like, I do think that this is a very solid build on this map. I mean, there's RNG, of course. For all he knows, it could be diagonal spawn, right? Like, we could be across the map from each other, but we aren't. So this is the best chance here for F91 to bring down ByuN. Let's go. So many gases. Yeah, as we mentioned, there's going to be a roach hole in. Remember, there's no link speed. We skip link speed specifically for roach production. ByuN is scatting across the map looking for his opponents. Here we go. The roaches, they are moving out. And again, it's going to be all or nothing here for F91. Behind this, we do have a 3-rack setup here from ByuN. No safety bunker yet, as he doesn't really know how much danger is in. He hasn't seen anything so far. I mean, last game he didn't scout. This time he is, but alas, the roaches, they will soon arrive. Bunker is on the way, and we have to focus on those marines as quickly as possible here. We'll deny the bunker, but we got to keep going. We got to keep going. Time is of the essence. Likewise, has to be careful not to be surrounded by the SCVs. Speaking of, the boys are being pulled, and they're hoping to try to surround the army. Okay, it's going to be all about catting. It should be. Takes down 1, 2, 3, 4 Marines. We'll take down every single Marine. And again, has to make sure he does not get surrounded. For now, does attempt to pull away. More roach is going to be, oh no, he gets surrounded. Yeah, 1 roach is going to be going down. Likewise, there's 2 Marines left over. The rest of the roaches, they're still waddling in. They're still coming. Oh my god. 1 Ravager is denied. Denies the Ravager. We still have more roaches waddling in as well. Oh, there's the Bile. Ooh, does connect. It takes down 2 SCVs. Another roach goes down. Yeah, and F91, he's running out of steam here. He's running out of roaches. Gets surrounded. Yeah, he gets surrounded once again. Behind this, just trickling roaches across the map, and it just is barely not enough. He had a good start, but the surround was brutal. That's what he was hoping to avoid. Or to how many Marines? 3. Soon to be 5. 5 Marines. Ravagers now morphing in. They are spotted by ByuN. ByuN is aware. ByuN is where the bunker's almost done. We can't let it finish. We can't let it finish. Go for it, Babby. Go for it. Keep going. Keep going. Ah, it's going to finish. Yeah, the bunker does finish. Bunker does complete. Aye, aye, aye. Yeah, unfortunate. With Biles, we can still try to break through, but it's going to be difficult here. Yeah, the boys, they're already here to repair. They're already here. Oh, shout out to the Kakaro. Shout out. Now, that is going to be a lot of Ravagers. Now, with 6 Ravagers, can we focus on the bunker? No, it won't be enough DPS. If we get 6 Ravager shots and an auto attack at around, like, lined up at the same time, I do think you can overwhelm this bunker through the healing, through the repair. There we go, does commit in. And the bunker, oh, does go down. Again, does line up those auto attacks. And with that, we can still pull this up. Oh, Roach falls. Takes down a Roach. There's what, 5 Ravagers left. Time to expand? No, now is not the time to expand. Like, there's no drones. Like, there's no drones here. Expansion would kill F91. That is not the call to make. And again, as the game goes on, it's getting worse and worse here. Now we have medics. Now the academy is done. Stim is on the way. Second bunker is now complete. And again, the build had potential. Like, straight up, 100%. The build had potential, especially given the spawn locations. But unfortunately, barely not able to pull it off. Again, lost his first wave of roaches, now rallying in, the Overlord's going down, getting supply blocked. And once Stim finishes, then ByuN can break out. Like ByuN, he will soon be able to break out and try to stim this down. The stim is complete. Building up extra Marines. And he goes for it. There's that stim. He gets one Roach, he gets one Ravager, gets another Overlord, denies high ground vision. We have a 2-3 8 shells on the way. Yo, we remember. Yeah, working on that range upgrade. You 2-3 8 shells. Yeah, you can see the star stepping here. Every single Ravager goes down. GG gets called as YoLin has failed, and ByuN, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And again, it looked like either F91 was just out of lava or he was supply blocked, but there was a time there where he was in the middle of the all-in, but he was backing up a lot of resources, a lot of minerals, a lot of gas. He wasn't quite able to sustain his own income for a time there and really commit to the all-in, and alas, in the end, he just did barely not have enough to break ByuN, but it was close. It was close. It was definitely, again, I think there was potential given that, especially considering ByuN didn't scout and we had close spawn locations as well. Like, everything was lining up. Like, that was like best case scenario for F91. But the execution was going to be a little bit, was unfortunately lacking there. And GG. GG, well played. With that, we do see ByuN take the series, does advance on into the next round, and he has his next opponent waiting for him. Let's go, as up next is going to be a TvT or TV random, depending on how you look at it. Up next is going to be ByuN versus Uwu Thermal. Let's go, baby, let's go. Uwu Thermal, I would say, is one of the stronger players in StarCraft Evolution, one of the stronger Terran players. We featured him in a show match not too long ago as well, where he was looking very impressive and very intense. Uwu Thermal does come up with his own builds very often as well. I do think that this is going to be a close one. I'm hoping for, regardless of how this goes, a game 3. Whether this goes the way of ByuN or the way of Uwu Thermal, I'm hoping for a game 3. But let's go. We are jumping into our first game of the series. Let's go, baby. Let's go.